Do you know what makes me so sad for our community in general? A lot of black women will sit there and go, "Black men don't protect us. Black men don't protect us." Then how come Tory Lanez kept his mouth shut the entire time to protect not only Meg, but her bum ass, crusty ass friend? Don't worry, I'll wait to hear the answer. And then how come black women don't stand up for black men? Now, one of the things I will say, y'all, is anybody who's bringing up the P. Diddy situation and defending that man, go to hell. Go to hell and eat and choke on rocks. Because what the fuck? That's sick. Have you seen the videos of what that man has done to that woman? I'm standing with Cassie and I don't care if people make fun of me. To say that that's, oh, little bit and she asked for it, you're fucking weird. I will always, hands down, I'll go to fucking war for Cassie. That's sick, y'all. And we can see she could just leave. She did leave. She did leave. He chased her down and kicked her in her head multiple times. He even pulled her hair out to where she had a bald patch and she had to shave her side. And we all thought it was a style. She was 22, 23 years old when this stuff was happening. I know you weren't the smartest when you were that age as well either. So let's not do all the talking. But I'm saying this to say that there are a lot of times where black women will say nobody defends them. But where are you guys when these things come out? To all the women who made all these think pieces about Tory Lanez and all this stuff, how come you guys aren't apologizing now? I really cannot stand the way people are so quick to fucking get on the latest hot news. But then when they're wrong, where's the apologies at? Where's the videos, babes? I want to see the fucking apology. I haven't seen not one apology. And before you go and say with your little crummy mouth that supposedly Meg Thee Stallion never did anything, she never accused Tory Lanez of that. Let's go ahead and roll the clip. Roll it.
Yes, I lied to Gil King. I probably know that you're going to ask me about this. I was going to talk about the shooting. Why did you ask me about Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, kept catching me out of my mind.
You have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with him.
What is
Everything
this?
happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like he shot a couple of times. Mm-hmm.
And if you guys aren't aware of what was going on, they had evidence that resurfaced. And right before they presented that evidence to Megan Thee Stallion's team, what happened to Tory Lanez? He got shanked up 14 times. 1-4. 14 times. He has a son, you guys. I understand that people like to get in people's business and do certain things. And even myself, I love to defend people and have people's backs. But he has a child. I can never respect somebody like Megan Thee Stallion. And I loved her, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I loved her music. I loved her. I really did like her. So me even making this video, sad, man. I remember I had a partner that I was with where me and him would go back to back. And I was like, no. I was like, are you sure? Maybe there's something. He's like, no, Tay. He's like, she really did that. She's a liar. She slept with Tory Lanez the entire time. She lied about sleeping with him. Kelsey is her best friend. And Kelsey was taking care of her while her mom passed away. We watched a documentary. I'm pretty sure you did. So you mean to tell me after that girl did everything she could to be a good friend to you and you said she was like your sister, what sisters fuck each other's partners? Any guy my friend ever claims dibs on, I would never try to talk to that, dip and dabble, even if they were done. Weird behavior. Y'all guys always want to talk about being a girls, but it's so funny. I'm starting to see why women support Meg Thee Stallion because you see yourself in her. You're just as dirty and grimy as she is, and that's sad. That is so sad. I could never allow somebody to go to prison and I know that that's wrong. And I'll be honest, I wish that Tory Lanez would have said something, but I knew he was protecting Meg and the rest of them. And again, he probably didn't want to be no fucking snitch. So when women say men are not loyal, no, it looks like men are a lot more loyal than you think. I think just the crummy men you pick probably aren't. It's sad seeing stuff like this because, wow, you mean to tell me he protected them by not saying shit? He almost died, you guys. How is this not serious? And I'm not sitting here saying he went to jail because of this and that. No one's saying all that. But somebody lying and saying somebody shot them and said, dance, bitch, dance, when that didn't happen. And then her, what's-her-face's bodyguard came out saying that he knows who shot her, which was Kelsey. And then Megan didn't even say nothing. Megan probably didn't say nothing because she knew she was wrong for sleeping with him. And she knew they were tussling over that fucking gun. and then making up a story for you guys to both go against him so that you didn't have to deal with that, she should deserve to get just in as much trouble as he's in right now. There's no way people like her should be facing the earth and walking. The way you guys want men locked up like that when they're bad, lock her ass up now. Now. I don't care if people call me names. I don't care if people think I'm doing things for validation. When have I ever mentioned I like Tory Lanez in that way? When have I ever said that? But you know what's really sad? I don't like seeing good people get incarcerated. And I'll be honest with you. Do you know how many women I've seen put their hands on men and don't get charged? Yeah, he's had certain assault charges. You guys support Chris Brown and he has the same shit. I don't understand why you guys pick and choose on who you guys like. I'm not defending the fact that he's done bad stuff in his life. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just saying in this situation, it wasn't his fault. Does that make sense? And again, I'll always keep telling men this, especially black men, stay the hell away from women like this. Women who are drunk and chaotic. And you are just as bad because think about this. Tory shouldn't even have been dibbling and dabbling in both of those women. A lot of men, I don't mean this rudely, but you guys do a lot of dumb shit. And then when stuff like this happens, you can't be upset. You put yourself in that situation. When you have a child, you should be very cautious of what you do. And when you're in the limelight, you should know people are always going to try to tarnish that. I'm not even as big or as famous as them. And I don't even go out and party and stuff like that because I'm too scared to get involved in bullshit like this. One mistake, one thing you do, your whole life is gone. And look, 2 years he spent in prison just to get stabbed 14 times. Men, be cautious with what you guys are doing. You see a woman and she's shady, she's trying to talk to you, but you were talking to her homegirl. Why the fuck are you still inviting or entertaining that? And I get it, he was single at the time, he was just messing with Cassie, but that's still wrong, and you know it. Because look what this ended up being. Something so small that you didn't think was going to blow over ended up being one of the worst events of your life. Be very cautious of what you do. I always keep telling y'all be telling me that I'm too strict or I'm a little dramatic, but don't you think I've seen these things play out with people I've been around or people in my family? I don't talk about these things because, I'm just saying it to dope. I'm passionate about these things because I've seen it. I've seen people get incarcerated. I've seen people get falsely accused, and then their whole life is thrown down the drain. And then what happens if they would have stabbed him in the right area, y'all, and his life would have been taken? What about his son? What about his family? And this is no hate towards any of them. I just really feel like this is super sad that people aren't really diving deep and looking at these type of things. This is somebody's life. And that is sad. And that would not sit well with my spirit. I don't know how Meg Thee Stallion is able to make videos and do all this stuff and act like she's the greatest person knowing she constantly fucking lied. Damn. And I'll say this, I never even heard her apologize or make an apology video. Women will always sit running down and, oh my God, men never apologize. They're the worst type of people. But so are you guys. If you have this mindset and you could get down like this, you have no room to talk about men. You're right there with them.
After over 2 years in prison without incident, Tory was stabbed 14 times just days after a major national news outlet reached out to Megan Pete's team, Kelsey Harris, and former DA George Gascon about a story on new evidence in this case. You don't have to believe in conspiracies to see the pattern. When evidence was about to come to light, Tory was nearly killed.
Yep.
So let's stop pretending this is complicated. Let's stop treating this like some cultural war flashpoint. This is about a man, a father, a son, Daystar Peterson, who has sat in a prison cell for over a year based on a case that wouldn't pass the smell test in any honest courtroom. The prison system can no longer guarantee his safety. And that alone should be grounds for immediate action. But combine that with the overwhelming evidence of a botched investigation, and this becomes not just a legal issue, but a morale emergency. Tory Lanez deserves a new trial. He deserves due process. He deserves a pardon. And if justice still matters in America, he deserves to go home. So what now? What do we do now? We're all here today. We are calling on Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Attorney General, and the public at large to act. If you believe in due process, sign the petition now on the Caldwell Institute page that Gianna Caldwell mentioned at change.org. Let your voice be counted. Let the system know that we see what's happening and we won't stay silent.